So I came across a meme that really got my attention. And as you see, the memes are right here. So one says, um, it's the age gap. You have two ages. Does this relationship work? And then you have another picture where it has an ages of older people and people of the same age. And it was asking if you think those relationships work. And I can't tell you why they do and they I can't tell you if they do or they don't work. I can tell you why age gap relationships have been difficult for me. So a little story time without telling too much of my story. At age 19, I started seeing someone who was 49. I know. And our birthdays were um, not too far apart. Um, that played a part because we had very similar personality traits. However, I realized that this person was, in a lot of ways, an older version of me, which I thought was a good thing at the time, but hindsight's 2020, that was a bad thing. Um, at 19, I had nothing in common with this person. And the things that I did have in common with this 49-year-old weren't great things. They were things of how I acted out, how I couldn't control my emotions. I've never been an irate person, but I was 19, so a lot of things that I thought I knew, I didn't know. And bottom line is, this person was grooming me to be everything that they wanted. I remember this person like berating me in the street because of the choices and decisions that I were making at 19 because I was a child and didn't know better. I had moved from a small town to a bigger city and I was living life. And I was young and cute and being invited to different places, and this person hated it. And they hated it because I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do. And when you're, as a person who's older now, I cannot see myself dating somebody who is 18, 19, 20 because it will be a lot of me teaching them things and subconsciously teaching them um, things to do, what not to do, how to be safe, what could cause problems for them, especially in certain communities. And so, when during that time in my life, the decisions that I were making weren't bad. They were good for my life because I needed to make them. I needed to make those mistakes. And dating that person, I wasn't allowed to make those mistakes, do those things that I wanted to do or needed to do for me. And it was honestly all about control for this person, my body, um, dictating everything that I was doing, judgment. It was filled with nothing but judgment. I shouldn't have been around that person, period. Um, and it brought out all kind of like daddy issues that I didn't even know I had. Fast forward to when I was engaged. That person was older, and in a lot of ways, that was a healthy relationship. We moved fast. I think, that ended because of COVID, just being around each other too much and realizing we really didn't like each other. But that was a healthy relationship because I was older. I was by that time 24, 25 to that person being 49, turning 50. And I hadn't was finally like realizing who I was as a person in many different ways. Even though I was still young and immature in ways, it was still a healthier relationship than the previous one. This person was very vibrant, very secure with who they were, and they weren't trying to change anything about me. If anything, they were trying to upgrade me and make me better. And because I was younger, I wasn't making them better. I was just there along for the ride in their life, not equally yoked and making them better. And so, um, dating people my age, I've never really had great luck with that because I always find that they're immature compared to me. I'm an old soul. I've been told that several times in my life, even when I was younger, and it's very true. I'm an old soul, and that's the reality of that. And when you are dating people your age who aren't don't really have the same life lessons, or you guys aren't equally yoked, or things aren't necessarily copacetic, if you will, like some people during that time, some people are still about infidelity, doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing. They're wanting to go out. When you're with people who are older, that's a misconception of dating people who are older too, that they don't want to go out, they don't want to do fun things. They do. It's just gonna look a little different. They may not probably want to be out till 3 a.m. However, when I was engaged, that person can be out till 7 a.m. and I was ready to go to bed by 11 o'clock at night. So it really depends on what kind of relationship you communicate and talk about having. I do believe that for me, same age relationships just will never work. But I'm willing to give it a try. And please know that if you are younger dating somebody who's older, if you really want to know what their intentions are, just ask them. Ask them why they are interested in somebody who is 18, 19, 20 to their 45. Just get down to the bottom of it. And don't be afraid to have those conversations with them because it is very important, okay? Like, there's no reason for you to be hanging out with people who are twice your age or even older, and when you are still learning things. If they are restricting you from doing things, going out with friends, this is a time where you're building a community for yourself. They already have those things. They're already set in place, or they should be. And you're going to be the person years down the line when they're dead and gone, or they've broken up with you, realizing that you gave a lot of your life to their life that was already put together, when you really should have just been on your own, doing your own thing, and getting to know yourself better. You find so many people who make it to their 30s and they're trying to get to know themselves because they put so much in relationships prior to when they really didn't have to. And you don't have to be that person. So, if you want my vote, I think age gap relationships can work, depending on what the ages are. If you are under the age of 21, I do not think a large age gap relationship will work because you're figuring out who you are and you have no clue yet. If you're in your late 20s and you're dating someone who's older, I do think that can work. I think that can work no problem. But it really just depends on you and how mature you are. And so when you're looking at people who are older, don't be afraid to ask those important questions and look up things that you're supposed to ask. There's tons of research on these things. And grooming is real. Older, especially in the queer community, grooming is a real thing. And you never want to be that person who is being groomed to do things that you don't want to do. If it does not feel right, if it does not feel comfortable, if you don't feel comfortable taking them to your parents or the closest people to you in your life, then maybe this isn't the person for you. Okay? Drop a comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you think. I want to know. This is a real conversation. I want to talk about it. All right. Have a good day. Bye.